Audio Jungle.
Police defend continued imposition of Manchester curfew. The head of the Manchester Police has defended the continued imposition of curfews and is encouraging public figures who are reportedly organizing demonstrations against the security forces to act rationally. The latest curfew was imposed on Wednesday at 6:40 p.m. and is expected to end on Friday at 6:40 p.m. Among the areas under curfew are Porus, Trinity, Hampton, and Redbury. Deputy Superintendent Kerry Duncan, in an audio message, said the police are aware of prominent individuals fighting against the curfew. We have intelligence suggesting that there are some persons who are of influence, public figures within certain areas of Manchester, and that they are instigating demonstration around these curfews. I just want to say these are your areas that you have interest in, and I encourage you to look at what was happening prior to these curfews and look at the level of peace and tranquil that the community are now experiencing, he said on Wednesday. We are saying that as long as we feel that the areas have returned to some level of normalcy, then we have no interest in continuing these curfews. However, we won't let up on our operational activities within these spaces, he added. On Sunday, Councillor Claudia Mountbaker, Jamaica Labour Party Post Division, reiterated her concern that the once thriving small town of Porus has become a ghost town for two reasons: curfews and a highway bypass it is. Baker had taken issue with the continued imposition of curfew in Porus area and has called for a town hall meeting with Manchester Police, citizens and business owners. The division recorded a 19% decrease in major crimes last year when compared to 2023, but the parish recorded 50 murders, up from 44 that previous year. Coming off 2024, where we saw some major successes within the Manchester division, particularly within the area of crime reduction, we saw some 18% reduction in our major crimes. Unfortunately, however, we saw an uptick in our murders. This year, our strategy will be placed primarily on murder reduction, stated Duncan. He listed the division's hotspots, which are being closely monitored by the police. Some areas were impacted more than others, particularly in the Porus Space, Land Settlement, Comfort, Mayday, Knockpatrick area, and based on our analysis, we realize we must make some special efforts in these areas in order to reduce the murders going forward for this year, he noted. I just want to say to the persons in Manchester that it is not our wish at this point to restrict the movement of any member of the community. However, when we find that we have some persons in our areas who are bent on disobeying the law and order to create mayhem in these spaces, then we have to employ some special measures in order to arrest these individuals, he noted. He is encouraging the public to support the police and the security measures imposed. One of the tools available to us are curfews, and so we as a team look at these areas strategically, analytically, to ensure that what we are doing is the right thing. I just want to say to the persons who are opposed to these curfews, look at what was happening before in these areas and look at what is happening now and ask yourselves, is it that we really want to risk losing more lives just to have parties, he noted. Alleged serial burger Piggy charged. 29-year-old Karen Mason, otherwise called Piggy, a laborer of Whitehall Avenue, St. Andrew, has been charged in relation to a series of break-ins and robberies at homes in the corporate area. Mason is charged with 4 counts of burglary, 3 counts of robbery aggravation, 2 counts of larceny, and larceny of a motor vehicle. The police say the incidents happened between September 2021 and December 2024. Reports from the Constant Spring Police are that during the period between the hours of 2:45 a.m. and 6 a.m., the complainants securely locked their homes, all at different addresses, and retired to bed. In the series of incidents, they were later awoken by Mason, who forcibly entered their dwelling. Items belongings to all were taken, including a motor vehicle of a woman. The estimated value of the items taken is US $22,030 and $153,500 Jamaican dollars. An investigation was carried out which led to Mason's arrest. He was positively identified on an identification parade and was subsequently charged after a question and answer session. His court date is being finalized. Heart Institute says lack of complete family history poses challenges to proper heart care. The Heart Institute of the Caribbean, HIC, says Jamaicans' lack of knowledge about their full family history is among several factors which pose challenges to proper heart care. HIC's co-founder and president, Dr. Diana Barr, made the comment during a media tour at the facility in Kingston. She stressed the importance of addressing challenges to ensure proper health care, especially since about 7,500 Jamaicans have a heart attack each year. Of that number, approximately 3,200 are women. The doctor urged Jamaicans to find out about their history to ensure they can get the appropriate attention. Meanwhile, HIC chairman Dr. Ernest said Jamaicans with poor genetics should educate themselves on what to do if the heart disease is at bay.
The real point is that half of our genetic makeup also comes from our patrilineal line. It comes from our fathers as well. So it's not just about our mothers and what they have. So knowing your mother's information and your mother's mother's information is important. It's also important, if you can know it, to know your mother's father, your father's mother and father's mother as well. And sometimes we only come into the equation with half of the data, right? So you come in and we will say as doctors, do you have any medical issues that run in your family? No, everybody live till they're 100. Yeah, right, but you don't know half of it. Some of your genetic information is missing, your family history is missing. I always tell my patients to just assume the worst, right? Because you don't know. So you're going to assume that everybody on that side has had one bad thing or another. So it's more important then for you to look at the rest of it and modify those things.
One of my colleagues years ago used to say you cannot outrun your gene pool. So genetics, we cannot do anything about it, technically. But we can also modify it because everybody with bad genes don't end up with bad stuff. So even if you have bad genes, there are things you can do to keep the risk at bay.
Husband who was on the run for wife stabbing arrested and charged. A Trelawney man who was on the run since 2015 for allegedly stabbing his wife during an argument at a guest house in Clarendon has been captured and charged. The accused is 47-year-old Anthony Mendez, a farmer and construction worker from Waiterby, Trelawney. He was charged on Wednesday with wounding with intent. His court date is being finalized. According to reports from the Mapen Police, about 6:30 p.m. on Saturday, June 20, 2015, Mendez and his wife were at a guest house in the parish when they got into a dispute. During the altercation, he allegedly stabbed her. Mendez fled the scene on foot. His wife was assisted to hospital, where she was treated and released. She subsequently filed a report with the police, and an investigation was launched. On Monday, January 6, 2025, Mendez was apprehended by the Ulster Spring Police in Trelawney and later transferred to the Mapen Police Station in Clarendon. He was identified by the complainant and formally charged on Wednesday, January 15. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.